Ladies and gentlemen,
In pain.
shout out to Chris and I for coming on the set tonight and doing what we have to do because, rain, hail, sunshine, no matter what happens in the future, we'll be here because if there was ever an excuse to not show up to the set, it was
this week.
what I just witnessed for 80 minutes on my TV screen. I mean, we're not watching the NRL anymore. We're not watching the National Rugby League. We're watching the National Rugby Underdog because any team above $1.91 in odds has won. So I know, it was the
Except for Shark.
I know, it was the Grim Reaper came for everyone's tips this round, and if you went 0 for 5, tap yourself on the back because you weren't retarded enough to tip Cowboys or Dragons or any of these spastics that ended up winning. And
No, you should have got one.
what? Who?
Para.
Dogs.
Para.
Well, no, the world should have known that Dogs were going to win.
Yeah.
So that's where me and you should hang our heads in shame. But speaking of my partner over here, my partner in crime, Chris, is here. He's refused to wear the dog scarf. I tried to get him to wear it about a minute ago.
Fine. They won again.
At least we're men of character.
Where's your South scarf? They didn't play.
They had a bye.
You're going to wear it next week?
They beat the bye. You proud of them?
Well,
It was in jeopardy.
It was in jeopardy the way they used to
luckily, Souths were underdogs to the bye, so that's why they won. But any comments from you, Chris, before I get... I know everyone's itching for our analysis on the amazing games of this round where, we got to watch the Couchman brothers, the Feeney brothers,
Dahlia.
Milford, after fucking 15 years in reserve grade, Vilea yet again. Vilea's mate on the other side of the field. Shibasaki's sister, yeah, him as well. I can't forget to give him a shout out. And yeah, it was just a cracking round of footy. Yeah, can't wait.
I mean, I'm sure people enjoyed it.
Who?
The world.
Why are you convinced of this?
Because, the Raiders game was close. Dragons, everyone likes to see them win. Because secretly inside of all you cunts, you like to see Penrith lose, even though you love to say that they're so fucking good. And Roosters lost, which the more I think about it, is hilarious.
Yeah, I agree.
That might be the funniest thing that's happened this weekend. Because our mate is like a chief drummer of the Roosters fan base, and all I see on his Instagram is every single fucking time him banging the drum for them winning. I wonder where he is tonight, in hiding.
Yeah,
shanking.
I don't see a drum in his arms, but that's all right, Chris.
Bag.
Well, how about we start with the one good result?
One good result.
The only one we got right for the round, and that was Thursday night at Wankbest Stadium. The Sharks went to Parramatta to take on the Eels with the additions of Clint Gutherson and Mitchell Moses. And as I said, only one we got right all round. Tipping this one early didn't make a difference in the end because the plus 5.5 was useless in the end. And Parramatta get the job done, win this one by 12. Even though Mitch tried to make it 13 plus with that field goal attempt right at the end of the game, hits the upright, and I win my one and only ladder challenge bet of the round. So thank you, Para.
I think I only won one.
Thank you, Para. Thank you, Para. 1-12, and the Eels are somewhat back on track with the uphill mountain ahead of them. Talk to me about what you think about your Eels in this situation, mate.
I just want to say thank you to Dylan Brown and thank you to Junior Paulo and thank you to Mike Acevo. Obviously, it was my same gamer that hit an absolute monster on the Parramatta game, which throughout the weekend we slowly discovered that it didn't matter what you put together. It didn't really matter logically or illogically. You don't even know who's going to score. But that particular game did go to plan. Parramatta played very well offensively. I still have question marks over their D. There was a lot of just Sharks playing very good footy. Every time Sharks got to fifth, it was like, okay, kick it to Gutherson, he's going to catch it. But before that, that's when they were more dangerous, and that's worry signs for Parramatta. But the biggest return of Mitchell Moses, which, look, as far as I'm concerned, Maguire can just go call... I was going to say Brad Arthur. Go call Trent Barrett and just tell him I need him for Origin, and they can just put him in because that's the way this sport works. Who cares about lineups? Just fucking put anyone in. Look, Mitch Moses, coming back, does give them life, but their life is still, on the wraps, and they are basically in a situation must win every single game, and this was one that they can tick off, but they have a long way to go to get back their season on the line. But, to be honest, there's only 3 teams that can't make the 8 right now, and everyone else is a live chance because like I mentioned in round 4, 5, 6, pretty much every single round, everyone's just tripping over each other. And this round was exactly the same. And it ends up being with Melbourne coming first, which we'll get to the other. But now the middle of the pack is so condensed. So Parramatta has an opportunity to, actually string a few wins together. And all of a sudden you end up seeing yourselves in the top 8, which is incredible. Analysis of the game, look, there's not much to analyse. Mitch Moses was incredible, as we expected. Obviously, he's going to have a great performance, and Nico Hines is going to shit the bed. And then everyone will say to bring Moses in. Sharks, I don't think there's much bad to take away from this. I think you guys actually played well. I don't think you made too many errors. Your defense, okay, but I don't expect you guys, without McKinlay, who's the greatest player ever, and Nico Hines, to defend at an elite level. And
why? They did it in Melbourne.
Well, look, it was a tough spot. I want to say that the Parramatta fans seemed to be off Parramatta as well. There was nowhere near a sellout, which I was very surprised with the return of Moses and Gutherson.
They're off.
But again, Parramatta, you can turn that all around this week coming against these guys, which we'll get to that in the preview more, but
I'm going to walk off the set for the analysis in the next game. It truly hurt me.
Why? Because you want me... Oh, you want... Okay, well, nice. But anything to say on Sharks? Or
I do. I've got a bunch of things to say. So Chris said that Sharks don't really have too much to look and reflect upon in this round, but I kind of disagree with him because it's one thing to lose, but in a situation where you complete your first 40 out of 40 sets, 40 fucking sets they completed in a row.
Yeah, they played good.
Which I've never seen in my life. Yet you look at the scoreboard and it's a late try that cuts it to 12 for you cunts to all of a sudden have a chance. I really don't think that's good enough considering Para just concede points at will to everybody else in the competition. So I feel like their attack got a little bit one-dimensional. As you said, Chris, they actually looked more dangerous shifting the ball from their own end of the field, which you saw when they actually went around them. Ronaldo took it about 50 metres, gave it inside to Kennedy right before halftime, and you were thinking, fuck, Para might look a bit shaky here. And
they are.
Especially actually considering Sharks scored first to make this 4-0, like 5 minutes into the game, because, I mean, the ref must have thought Sharks were he knew Sharks were underdogs, so he starts the game with penalty, 6 again, try, and at that stage, Para was looking a little bit shaky, and it's a credit to their character that they probably looked aside from each other in the huddle and saw Gutho and saw Mitch and thought, oh, okay, like
we have to play now.
We actually have to, like, we can't just quit down 4-0. We have to actually have a go. And they had a go. I think they made it 12-4, 16-4, and then Sharks might have scored to cut it to 6. But once they took that lead, never really looked like the game was in doubt. I want to say a few soft tries that Sharks conceded, just going like down the short side and having no players there, doesn't really reek of a team that's genuinely a premiership contender. And now this is 2 weeks in a row where you've just been conceding some of the softest shit I've ever seen in my life. But in terms of going forward for Sharks, doesn't get much easier going to Suncorp next weekend. So I would say 3 piss poor performances in a row. That says a lot about you as a footy side. I'm not going to hang it over their head that they went to Bankwest and lost this game 5 days after getting killed at PointsBet Stadium. It was as Chris alluded to in the preview, it was a bad night to play Para. It played out that way. Sharks, you get a bit of time off to regroup, having played the early game and not playing until next Saturday. And you get to sort of steer the ship back in the direction that you want. As far as Para goes, I think to hold Sharks to like 22 with them completing the first 40 sets is actually pretty good. People are going to say same old Para defensively, but apparently Mitch, I would put it more down to Gutho's hands that he can actually organise these idiots in a straight line and not have them just fucking concede at will. And shout out to Will Penasini because he's not Morgan Harper, and that's all I need to say about that.
Oh, I saw him at gym today.
You saw him as well?
I
saw him like 3 hours probably before you got there. So you know he's putting in work.
Mate,
like the rest of
what a G. He played so good.
Like the rest of the Eels lineup, and hopefully it's a springboard that they can carry on. Well, they play the mighty Bulldogs next week, and that's apparently not going to be easy for anyone, but they have an opportunity ahead of them to string a few going into their bye, I want to say in round 17. And then with the way that every other team's tripping over themselves and refusing to solidify themselves in the top 8, a la Dolphins, Roosters, and all these other retards that lost this weekend, anything's possible. So enough of a reason to keep fighting for Para when it looked like their season was on the brink of just falling to the wayside with another loss this weekend. But of all the results, and
this
how
year.
How many rounds has there been? 13 rounds of footy. Let's say 7 times 13. We've got about 200 games that have been played so far. This one hurt me severely and dearly.
Maybe because it didn't hurt me as much.
I actually genuinely could not get off the floor at about the 70-minute mark. And it wasn't this wasn't one of our biggest bets by any stretch of the imagination. This has nothing to do with dollars and cents. And
after the first game, don't worry about dollars and cents.
And as I said, generally, I'm only really following the sport to make money off it. I don't give a shit who wins the premiership. I don't give a shit who wins on an individual basis. But as far as punting goes, for Knights to open at -1.5 and for us to take it, and for them to get 2 sin bins and to finish the game with 2 points, I severely have no explanation for what the fuck I saw on Friday. And this isn't Titans or Souths who they're 17th and they have no chance of doing anything. This is a Knights team coming off a bye that had actually won 4 games in a row before anyone wants to come and say, oh, you didn't know Knights are garbage. And in the preview, I somewhat alluded to Dogs are horrific in terms of who they're running out there, but you're never safe if you're relying on Knights, because Knights, when they're expected to lose, they fire up, and when they're expected to win, they fire down, and they fire down all right, because
I miss Knights.
I mean, Cogger and Hastings, it's actually criminal to ever run them out there together in the same capacity of wearing 6 and 7 in an NRL game. Adam O'Brien, I know you just rotate cunts for the piss of it, but to not have Tyson Frizzell and to have Sonny Bill Williams himself, Dylan Lucas start at right, it's just pointless. More so than anything, just pointless. And I think the cunt Armstrong replacing Kalen came back down to earth. And apparently Knights are the only team that can drop it in the wet weather, because Dogs, doesn't matter how much it rains against Roosters, against Knights, against anyone, you cunts just won't drop the ball. And I will give Dogs credit because their 3 best players are out. Adokar does his hamstring and gets ruled out. And I'm the one that beats the drum that you lose an outside back, every other team just disintegrates into thin air, but Dogs seem to keep the ball moving with no dramas. Multiple sin bins within the game. One of them probably even questionable to get sin bin in the first place, but they defended their line set after set after set. They had less possession, less field position in terms of where they actually had the ball when they finally got it. And as soon as they got down the Knights' end of the field, I don't know what these cunts did at training, but it was a fucking training run for the legit Bulldogs B team that was just running in tries for the sake of it. Knights, I will never forgive you for this, to be honest. And you will literally will not see me in the polo for the rest of the season, because these cunts severely hurt me on Friday night. And I knew we're fucked for the rest of the round after seeing that, because to think for me there was no way further into the pit, and even Dragons winning and even Cowboys winning today, all I could do was chuckle, because Knights really hurt me that badly.
I've got nothing to say. I mean, the only thing I'm going to say, good job, Dogs. I'm proud of you. I've got the scarf on. This is too much into next week, but all of this doesn't mean shit if you lose the Power. I mean, I think your season will be almost derailed if you lose the Parramatta. I mean, you basically opened the door and let them come into it, and the door's open this big for them to have a chance. They need to be perfect. And if you lose that game, I mean, you can beat Knights, beat every other fucking moron with no players. If all good teams with good players, sorry, you beat Roosters as well, who are retarded.
That doesn't seem very hard anymore. But no, you're the
why would I do
upset alert?
Why would I do it? So this was the start of me saying all the favourites win, and then 4 underdogs decided to show up in a row. It was just fantastic.
You literally couldn't give it out anyone as upset alert.
Except for because I was never going to be out Sharks, and that wouldn't even count because it's pick-em. So, I mean, listen, basically, if it's my upset alert, just fucking tick the other team the way I'm going. Dogs, I've got nothing to say. Knights, I mean, I said it in the preview. If it's Knights, if you're relying on Knights, they can fuck up anything. Anything! They can fuck it up, and they fucked it up. That's all you need to say. I mean, all of a sudden they can't score anymore. It's garbage.
Knights, you guys suck.
They suck, but we know they suck.
But why
Dogs suck more.
But why do they win 4 games in a row and then score 2?
Because they had Kalen. Now his soul has gone.
Oh yeah, they played much better against Dogs when Kalen played the first time.
Well,
you forget about that.
This is all revenge.
This was worse.
66-0. When I take Dogs at 66-0 last year, they win 66-0. Now the opposite happens. It's absolutely incredible.
But I guess like the takeaway is Dogs are...
Not yet. Next week, I will admit it. I promise.
So you're on the record that if they beat Para...
Next week, if they beat Para, I will say and clap the table, they'll make the top 8. Because everyone, all we've seen from Dogs is the other team going to submission after 20 minutes. It's literal garbage. If Knights, literally, this is too much into next week, but if Knights were Para this week, the amount of possession that you guys gave them in that first 20 minutes... Para should have been up 16-0, and then I'd like to see you guys fucking come back from that.
Yeah, but...
Every team doesn't score, and then they just fucking quit. In 20 minutes, that's it, they're done. That's what Knights did.
Yeah, I know. It's really an indictment on Knights. I mean, Knights... I can barely even look at the TV with you guys on the screen anymore. After what you put up.
You can't throw the polo away.
I didn't say I'm going to throw it away.
Because there was one point in the season last year you want to throw it away, and then they 10-peated.
I will keep it in the wardrobe, but you won't see me in it until 2025. Knights, like... To take the 2 and then to not even sniff the try line after you take the 2, like that's hard to do. But you guys pulled it off.
All right, but I'm really done with this game because it's Dogs. So,
speaking of hard to do, well,
I need a Dragon scarf. Seriously, honestly,
yeah, you should buy one, mate.
I need a Dragons polo maybe because the mighty Dragons. Shout out to Zerafos brothers. I don't even give a fuck that an underdog won again. I couldn't care less because Penrith suck my cock, you lost a game. And like I said, you can't keep running out with fucking idiots. Even though Dragons had more idiots. We already explained Couchman, Feeney out there, and they still beat your ass. I mean, going up 10-0, what the hell is... First of all, McLean's try. I mean, what the fuck is the winger doing out there?
Finau, wake up.
Finau, wake up. But
he woke up.
But he woke up, gets the kickoff, and the Red Sea parts. Yeah. Because who was the number 15 in Penrith? I forgot his name. Henry. That's a different player. He looks at him like this.
Yeah.
He's looking at and then he just sees Finau walk through, and it's like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. And from that point forward,
they quit.
It was over.
I've never seen Penrith quit.
Well,
they didn't have Edwards, I mean.
All good New South Wales has him.
Yeah.
Look,
New South Wales could call us up. I mean,
the takeaway from this one was, I mean, Dragons. Where was this last week?
Oh, that's the only thing I want to yell at them for. Seriously.
Last week, you cunts had the lead and then quit, and this week with less players, you go down 10-0 and then you fire up and score 22 unanswered. It's just random. Penrith. I'm not gonna
suck my dick.
Say anything about you cunts because unlike Roosters, you actually had 10 cunts out, so you literally had no one. And you ran out your reserve grade team. So,
but suck my dick.
In hindsight, probably Dragons was the right side at 9. But again, we took -4, which, we did our work early. It doesn't matter because they lose anyway. It is what it is. This one, didn't really piss me off.
It doesn't matter if you do your work early. It still hasn't rewarded anyone.
Yeah, I know.
It's rewarded us maybe 3 times. All of this week, Para rewarded. We took +5. Didn't matter because they covered 1 anyway. Penrith, we took -4. They lose outright. Roosters, we'll get to them, -12, and it gets to 20, back to 16. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, because they lose outright.
Because they lose outright. So
in terms of the hierarchy of results this round that shocked me, I would say this one didn't really shock me.
The next one did.
The next one didn't really shock me either. It's just more so how the game played out, and I want to
Is it enough?
I want to elevate Dolphins that you can't sort of
Oh, we can say this.
Truly the scum of the fucking NRL for all those weeks in a row that you got yourself to 7-2, and you were gifted a fucking opportunity to go to 9-2. First in the ladder. All you had to do was beat Warriors with no players, and then beat Raiders with no players, and you fucking capitulated to both of them, which is just stupid. The problem at the moment in the NRL is not okay, there's a outlier performance here, outlier performance there. And I want to keep reiterating this, so I can't fucking get what I'm saying. It's when everything points to the team having success, they fail. And then when everything points to the team failing, then they have success. And maybe I'm picking the wrong game to actually reiterate this because the next one is carbon copy of what I just said. But why did you lose to Raiders? Why?
I'll tell you. Because they're not that good. And look, what I don't understand.
I guess.
What? They don't have talent, but they're just like.
But they never had talent.
Yeah, but look.
Why the fuck did they win 7 in a row with no talent?
Just wait. I'm going to explain why. This is exactly what's going to happen to these guys. See this team? I'm calling it now. Because for 8 weeks, Dolphins played off effort, playing through the middle hard, kick chase hard, field goal, like fucking doing whatever you can, just doing the little things. And last week they met a team that had no talent, just went out there and had a go, and you lost. And they were like, wow, really? We had that much of a go and still fucking lost? Alright, let's do it again. Went out there, had a go, and lost again. And now they're sitting in a position of, they're in the mix of the 8. They actually would have dropped out of the 4 if Roosters fucking won, which is hilarious because Roosters suck as well. But eventually, these talentless teams, and yes, for all you Dogs fans out there, you guys are talentless. You're shit on paper, but you show effort. And other teams in this competition with talent do not show effort at all. They basically run out there for 20 minutes, 1 penalty or 2 penalties doesn't go there, and quit. And you guys just keep rolling on. But, like I said with Knights, any other team in that first 20 minutes would have had 16 points in Dogs. And I'd love to see how much effort and talent they would have had to come back 16 down. It's a completely different story if Knights score 2 tries at that point.
It's not.
No, it is.
No.
Because it's Knights.
No, because Cowboys, who are actually worse than Knights, went down 2 tries, like you're saying, and still won anyway.
We'll get to that. Because that's another point.
Okay.
Because it's Roosters, basically. But Dolphins, there was no excuse losing to Raiders. Hey, they only lost 1 player, you guys lost 1 player, but when you fucking had Trey Fuller for the past month, you won every fucking game. Did everyone forget when they beat the shit out of Para when no one expected them to do anything? And you guys built yourself a claim based off effort. Platt, did he even fucking play?
Yeah, he may as well not have
played. He may as well not have played until he did that charge down. Platt looked like the best lock in the competition a month ago.
Yeah.
And now all he does is fucking play off effort. And eventually effort gets you nowhere. The talent is in these teams, and that's why they will come back and get you. So, look, shout out to the Raiders, bro.
Yeah, shout out to the Raiders.
To be honest, there is sparkles of talent across the team, and that forward pack is talented. As much as we hate them, well, you don't hate them.
I love them.
I don't like them as much, but like right now, it is a testament to how good Ricky Stewart is and how good they're playing at the moment. But these teams at the top, like from first, I'm taking Melbourne out because they may not show effort, but they have the skill and they win anyway. The rest of them, from 2 down, you guys need to wake up. I mean, there is no excuse for losing to these shit cunt teams. And there should be a divide between the top 5 and everyone else. There should be. Based on everything that's happening. Because the top 5 are clearly better than everyone else. But for whatever reason, you guys are just fucking tripping over everyone else. Look, Sharks, fair enough. You didn't have your best player out there and you played a team that's not 15th. But the rest of you scumbags, including Penrith, I don't care who's not out there, it's not like you guys lost from a position of, we just couldn't fucking score. You were up 10-0.
Yeah.
Dolphins, you clawed your way back to be tied, and then first set you get the ball back, you drop it on your line, off the kickoff, and you're like, we're going to fucking quit and let them score again.
Yeah.
I mean, incredible.
Yeah.
And these teams at the top need to wake up. If you guys are actually good, then fucking show it. Because these little games here and there is giving every team at the bottom a chance to undo whatever they've done to the start of the season, i.e. Warriors, Cowboys, Parramatta, Dragons, by some miracle. All of them a chance to make the 8. The only teams that can't physically make it right now are
South and Tigers.
South, Tigers, and Titans. Titans, it's not possible.
Yeah.
Because they tried and they still were losing. Yeah. So, wait till they stop trying. So, they're done. But the rest of the competition is a live chance to make the 8. So, anyone wants to come out there as a Dragons fan, as a Dolphins fan, a Knights fan, maybe not for you.
No.
That come and tell me that they can make the top 8, I'll be like, yeah, you know what? You're right. Because as far as everyone goes, it's whoever's effort shows up on the day. If they don't show effort, they're just going to fucking quit and 1 or 2 calls, a 6 again, and that's 6 points, if not 10, because it seems like you concede in batches in this sport. As soon as you concede one, it's like, whoa, I will concede again.
Yeah.
And the games so far have simply been who shows more effort for a longer period of time, and then they just end up winning. And in a sport that a few years ago, when everyone used to say we have not enough skill to expand the league before Dolphins existed, look at the players that are playing in this competition right now, and the teams that are winning. I mean,
we could have 20 teams.
We could have 20 teams, because if everyone's saying, "Oh, I love this sport right now," why don't we fucking make 20 teams? Let's do it. Let's make North Sydney Bears. Let's make a Perth team. Let's make a Papua New Guinea team. Let's do it, because at the moment they're the ones that are fucking playing gun. But everyone will say, "Nah, bro, they're not actually talented. They're not skilled." Well, they're fucking winning.
Yeah.
Everyone else doesn't win. There's teams with skill. We can fucking go on to Roosters, a team with all their players compared to a team with fucking Purdue.
Yeah.
They won. On the road.
Yeah.
Insane. Anyway.
Yeah.
Let's go to Roosters, which I don't give a shit about.
I want to get a bit more of a word in. Raiders. I love you guys.
I love Kyo.
Look, Kyle Weeks.
Kind of sucks.
He played good.
Still sucks.
Rapana put the team on his back at the age of 55. And, it actually got interesting. Maybe the theatre of how the game actually got to Golden Point and everything was interesting. But, I mean, for Plath to get the charge down and then 20 seconds later you can't call an obstruction on a field goal that actually went through the fucking uprights because he did this. He literally did this.
I know. Just
stuck his arm out 1 centimetre. Had no bearing on anything. And, you can't take the game-winning field goal of Dolphins, which I don't feel sorry for them. They had plenty of chances to win this game. That's fine. But, again, Raiders, when Chris comes and says, you don't have a fucking spine that is NRL standard, he's right. But if Dolphins is going to concede crash over tries to Mariota and Whitehead, that's fucking under 7 shit, right? If you're going to get 24 points doing that, then me and this guy can run out on the spine and it doesn't matter. So, and to even elaborate further on Chris's point of teams not being able to contain teams once they get this much momentum, I think to the Titans game where same thing, they have literally inadequate players in the most important positions. And as soon as they get to the Broncos 10-meter line, you get a try, we'll just give it to this one offload, and then the Red Sea pass. So apparently no one can defend in the entire sport besides Penrith when they're full strength. So back to that point where we're going to hammer that home. But it doesn't make sense. How Dolphins can go to 7-2 and then quit to Mariota, it just doesn't make sense.
Mariota and whoever, I still don't know who played center last week for Warriors.
Yeah, me neither, bro. But the Roosters game is all yours. I don't want to say anything.
This is the funniest result around. Because at this point, we've had 3 underdogs. And Cowboys were the biggest underdogs of them all. And I came out here and said, you guys are fucking stupid for not making this 20.
Yeah.
It did get to 20.
Yeah.
But I don't really give a fuck about the game because deep down, I know I don't say it much on the podcast, but this guy knows, is that I do severely hate Roosters because I think they're scumbags.
Yeah.
And the scumbags lost. So technically in my heart, I'm very happy. But Cowboys, Roosters, I mean, one's worse than the other in my mind. But Cowboys with no players to win one is kind of
It's
funny.
pretty funny. Yeah.
Now, the point at hand, for me, I don't know about you, because I don't really give a fuck about the game, because I think it's a carbon copy of every fucking other game that happened this round. One team shows effort, they get in the lead, Roosters got in front, halftime up by 10, chilling, and then, you know what, 10 isn't enough because Cowboys with 12 are better than them, and then they just show a bit more effort, give it to Purdue, and that's it, game over.
So you want to talk about Edwards?
I want to sit here and understand the structure of the state of origin. Look, you name 20 players into a squad. Obviously, an injury like Edwards won't be accounted for. But what I don't understand is, what the fuck's the point of naming 20 players?
Yeah, no.
And it makes no sense. So you have Mitch Barnett, Burton, Keary. If I was Queensland, formal notice needs to go out for this. And unless it's somewhat in the rules, which I don't think it is, and what I was saying is put Moses 19 and fucking put him in. But you don't even need to put him 19. Just say Hines is fucking injured and just bring in Moses. What's the point of having Burden and Kiri?
Yeah.
There is 0 point of any of those three players being there.
Yeah.
And those three players, this is the biggest field. Dogs luckily won this week. The biggest indictment goes to Burden, the poor soul. To be honest, I've never said anything poor about a Dogs player, but he's one of them. He gets ruled out of his own club game to not play at all, to be 18th man. Some player in the 17 gets injured and he's not the player that comes in. It's some guy off the street who's still training for the Sydney Roosters and he comes in.
Thinking he's going to play a game like 10 hours from now.
Thinking he's playing Cowboys 10 hours from now. He's like, no. You're going to play the other Cowboys. You're going to play Queensland. Make sure you play good at fullback for us. Otherwise, we're going to fucking kill you. Like every fucking casual in the world is going to kill Tedesco if he plays garbage again. And look, now we have to give Edwards a chance round game 2 because he got injured.
Wow, that is really setting up to look Teddy in the eye and say, fuck, I've really fucked up. Yeah. Imagine you pick Edwards, Teddy plays good, you drop him and bring Edwards back, and then Edwards plays shit.
I mean, look.
What a disaster.
Because we have to bring Edwards in. You can't go now, Teddy played good, bro. You know what? Fuck you.
You're kind of fucked either way.
You're fucked either way. So, if Teddy plays shit, you bring Edwards in game 2, and hopefully we can save the series by winning 2 in a row, which very highly doubt that. And the other way around is Teddy's plays great, and then he goes, you know what? Thank you for your service. You can go back to Roosters now. After they stole him 24 hours before the game.
I don't think you can...
You can't. Edwards going to come back in.
No, if Teddy has a blinder, I don't think you can grab Edwards.
They're going to.
How can you?
Because they have to. What the fuck? They have to.
They don't.
They just named him.
Well, if Teddy plays gun, how can you drop some... How can you win game 1, Teddy plays good, and then you drop him? You can't.
They're going to.
They really fucked themselves.
So, look. I feel like I thought about this before. And now you made it make sense. This is karma to Madge. And I'll explain why. In 4.5 years of this prick Penrith team playing every single fucking game like it's game 7 of the NBA Finals, this motherfucker never got injured. And all of a sudden, he has one training session in a Blues jersey and now he's injured. And for all you can't say, look, it's injury, stop screaming at Edwards. I will scream at Edwards because he's a piece of shit. And he got injured in his quad after one training session, which is very similar to how Jordan McLean was when he was named for Origin and then got injured as well. But this actually, a little bit on Edwards, mostly on Madge. And you mentioned it well. We're fucked either way.
Yeah.
We win this Origin game. You are in absolutely 2 minds. And all the beloved folk will now be like, bro.
Yeah. How can you drop Teddy?
Now, if Teddy plays like shit, you are basically, not even the fact that you stripped his captaincy already, is that you're actually putting a stain on his career because everyone now is looking for his excuse to play bad.
Yeah.
Because if he plays bad, then they were like, bro, see, we told you to pick Edwards. He was injured, but we had to. So, Madge, you put him under duress. I think there should be pitchforks outside his house if they don't win this game. Even if they do, it doesn't matter. Because you're going to fuck it up the next time, and you'll fuck it up in Queensland. And I actually sat back and thought, when he was at Tigers, I thought you were an excellent coach and didn't deserve to be fired. I actually think there's got to be some delusional going on. Something is in the background. I can't believe this can't be Madge.
Yeah, I know, mate. I know.
It cannot be Madge. It's not. It can't be him. And look, I'm not saying, oh, bro, you have to change it around. Honestly, if you get an Edwards injury and you cannot physically get out there, you have to use someone in your 20 as far as I'm concerned. Otherwise, there's no fucking rule. Bring Mitch Moses in now. Who cares?
Yeah, it's really...
What's the rule?
The structure of it is really fucking stupid.
So,
and it's not all right, you name your 17, you have an 18th man that can cover. No, you have 3 extra cunts in there to all right, if anything fucks up, and when you're picking a squad the way Madge did, you need to think, okay, if this cunt gets ruled out, I can bring in this guy. If this cunt gets ruled out, I can bring in this guy. You already have Burton as 18th man, right? So what the fuck is the reason for having Keary in there? Everyone knows if Hines goes down, you're not going to bring Keary in anyway. So that's just a waste of everyone's time.
No, apparently the reports were it was going to be Keary, not Burton.
Okay, then what the fuck are they being Burton for?
Well, Burton's in emergency in case Hudson Young goes down.
Well, but they're going to play Burton at second row. No, they're not. They're going to call some other cunt that's
they'll
probably
call someone
played
else.
2 days ago.
That's true.
So the whole structure and system is a fucking joke. And the way that Madge has implemented the system is actually 10 times bigger of a joke. And not that I feel sorry for Roosters because they're a bunch of cowards, but they should actually feel like 10% hard done by that. We practiced the whole week with our fucking captain at fullback, thinking we're going to get a blinder from him because he's been dropped for Origin. But 10 a.m. strikes, Edwards, now he's hurt after being healthy for 4 years straight. And just to even like take that one step further, you got injured at a training run at Origin, which the whole Origin fucking camp is legit just ball skills and team chemistry building. You're not out there fucking running hills up and down.
No, he was because he has to try.
Maybe Ed was just running hills by himself and that's how he did his quad. But as far as I'm concerned, what a waste of time it was picking you in the first place.
For Madge to look Tedesco dead in the face.
He can't. How can you?
Like
literally.
that. I wish I was a fly on the wall when he walked in.
How could you want to do some roleplay? I'll call you. I'll be like, yeah, James.
Yeah.
I know you got a big game today, mate, but Dylan's just gone down. He just did his 500th hill run of the day. I told him not to. He wouldn't listen to me. He wanted to try really hard, but is it all good if you come play for us game one? Just don't worry, bro. You're still not getting your captaincy, and even if we win game one, we're still going to drop you because Edwards he just means that much to us. But you reckon you can just fuck your club game off and come play Origin for us in 3 days time, bro?
I guess.
But again, I just need to reiterate that even if you give us 11 out of 10 performance, we're still going to fuck you off for Edwards.
Okay, so this is just like my farewell tour and just, you're going to fuck me off after this?
Yeah, you're essentially a prostitute for us today and we're just going to fuck you and just throw you away. Is that alright?
No, okay. I guess I have to come.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I'll let Trevor on.
Fuck, thanks James, you really saved us here, bro. Alright, I'll see you on Wednesday. I mean, it's a fucking joke. It's a fucking absolute joke. The more I think about it, like, this is a fucking disgrace. Like, Queensland would never do some shit like this. And,
bro,
like,
look,
wow.
Things have gone fucking wrong for Queensland in the past. When they had the worst team ever, they were playing Munster at fullback. Munster! He doesn't give a fuck about the game half the time.
Yeah,
He's playing fullback.
Yeah. Or as horrific as AJ Brimson is at Origin level at fullback, they picked this fucking loser in the squad, and when Kalen went down, they're like, alright,
we have to.
Brimson, get in there, yalla. But for us to just, bro, you can play, you hurt your toe, all good, we'll call this guy.
We can call Terrell May, bring him in. Fuck, he played Gunders today.
Yeah, he was so good.
It was so good, bring him in. Is there any other players you want to bring in? Like, this is the final call.
We'll give it like 2 more days, and then Wednesday morning, if we feel like it, we'll call someone.
That's true.
It's just, what a joke.
We might need Latrell, let's give him a call.
Yeah, I mean, they should have called him 3 months ago, but anyway.
Let's see what number Tedesco's going to run out.
29.
I mean,
he's on the left 29.
What, 21?
And it won't even have his last name on the back. They don't want to give him that much credit of, you played Origin again. Maybe they'll just give him Edwards' jersey. He can run out there with Edwards at his back.
Okay. Final point is to James Tedesco. Is there any case... Now, this is going to get clipped. Fuck it, clip it. Because this is the biggest take of all. Honestly, that phone call, I would have sat on the phone and said, fuck you.
To match.
I couldn't care less who called. I couldn't care less how much the money was. I couldn't care less what the badge means to you. What they did for you and what they're doing to you right now is basically fucking you over.
Yeah.
And if I was James Tedesco, I would have slammed the phone on the ground and said, fuck no, I'm playing for my club this week. They are my team. They will always put me fullback. They will always put me captain until I fucking retire. It doesn't matter how good Joey Manu is, and we all know he's an elite fullback. They've kept James Tedesco there. I understand that's club level, but this is the most important player in New South Wales, like one of our most important players in the Origin arena in the past couple of years. And the way he's been just ragdolled around by this scumbag Edwards, who suck my cock, you're not playing Origin, because you have to wait another 2 months before Madge has to look Tedesco in the face and say, bro, you scored 2 tries, but I can't fucking put you in the team again because I love Edwards. He has great hair. I mean, look, honestly, Tedesco, if you had a fucking choice, I would have said, fuck no. These cunts need to wake up to themselves. The whole selection process might as well go out the window. Just put all the New South Wales players in a hat, and if someone gets injured, just fucking change them around for someone else in the league, because that's the way it's going right now. And honestly, if I was Tedesco, I would have not played this game and just let them figure it out for themselves. Put Latrell full back.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Nah, honestly, like, that'll be a hot take. A lot of people will disagree with you, but Teddy, if the reports came out that Teddy got offered to play game 1 and he said, no, I'm going to play for Roosters today, like, good luck to you guys, I would not even, like, give him 1% of criticism, no nothing. Be like, yeah, fair enough. Like, that's your prerogative. These cunts drop you. They don't get to not have you in the squad altogether. They didn't just drop you from the 17. Yeah. They dropped you out of the fucking squad of, like, don't even come in the building and mentor these cunts or give Edwards tips. They said, get the fuck out, go play for Roosters. So then, once you call, all right, I'm going to play for Roosters. You guys, I'm sure you have a good contingency plan on your reserves. Between Mitch Spiner, you could probably play fullback. What about Kieran?
I mean, what they would have done is probably put Burden into halfback all the way.
Oh, come on.
And put Nigo fullback.
That's awful.
I mean, what else can you do?
Well,
you're going to put Critter fullback? I've seen everything.
You can pick a better fucking 20-man squad. You could
if only they had Tedesco in the 20-man squad.
Apparently not, bro.
Incredible.
Anyway, that's enough Origin chat for tonight. Obviously, we've got a game 3 days from now, which we're very keen for.
Not really.
Well, if I want Queensland to fucking pump these cunts.
I mean, I want Queensland to kill. I want the whole Queensland state to absolutely rile up all of New South Wales. Like, I hope you guys give them so much shit, to be honest. And I live in New South Wales.
Yeah.
And honestly, what's happened in the last 2 weeks of this selection has been comical from our end. Just shenanigans. Yeah. Just idiocy across the park. Appy Coruscant still hasn't been called in. It is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, just nothing Queensland. And look, Queensland tried to flow the flu thing with Harry Grant. He wasn't training because he had the flu, which is the classic Queensland tactic. But it doesn't matter what story you guys fucking had this week. Yeah. It's all New South Wales across all the papers until Wednesday, because the shenanigans that have happened between this selection, this would never happen under Brad.
No, it would.
No, it wouldn't.
No, Brady
would have never dropped to this.
Brad, he wouldn't have. For exactly. Sure. But I mean, Brad and Madge, like, interchangeable.
They're interchangeable at this point.
And Madge hasn't even coached the game yet, which is saying a lot. To be like on fitless pedestal, that's really bad. But again, I guess you guys could shut us up and go and fire up in game 1 and
go
win.
But, look, you're fucked either way.
Yeah, but this is like some shameful shit, man. I've never like. It's hard as a New South Wales born and bred, like, diehard Blues fan, but to see this shit, and I would say we pride ourselves in being objective. We're not just going to support, like, whatever degenerate you run out there. And the way that this is played out makes Madge look terrible. Whoever the fuck's a part of the selection panel, you guys all look like retards. And Madge, as far as coaching goes, like, I already know Slater's going to coach rings around you as well. So we're, like, in fucking major danger of losing this 0-3, I would say.
Oh, I have so much more to say about Roosters.
No, we're talking about Roosters.
I mean,
Roosters.
If it's up to the club, they're actually the cockiest cunts in the world. I just realised.
Yeah, because they didn't say, no, we need him. They're like, oh, all good, we're playing Cowboys.
Yeah, and then they have a bye next week. So they're like, we can beat Cowboys without him. They're the cockiest cunts in the world. I just realised.
Yeah.
That's what they probably did.
Spearheaded by Politis. And
yeah, they were like, fuck, it's Cowboys. Who cares?
Yeah, all good. And they played like that because, like, I don't know, first of all, and this is actually a bigger point for the entire league, that stop fucking taking the 2. If we actually ran the data of how many cunts take the 2 and end up losing, I want to say it's in the 90 percentile. Stop taking the 2. You're not resilient. You can't defend shit, and you're not Penrith. So stop taking the 2. Second of all, I mean, to lose to Cowboys, wow. And I make this point every time some retard wins at $6, that traditionally in the years past, the $6 underdog that wins outright, there's always a knock-on that leads to a try within the game. Maybe there's a sin bin to the $1.10 team. There's a send-off. There's a fucking intercept try. There's something that sways the game in their favor, because they're $1.10 and $7 respectively for a reason. you guys literally have lost to teams 10 times shitter than Roosters with all of your origin players. Taulagi, Holmes, Dearden, Nanai, Robson, fucking Cotter. When they all play, you get fed by teams that are 10 times shitter than this Roosters team.
They lost to Titans 2 weeks ago.
You lost to fucking Titans. Titans without any of their star players. And now all of a sudden wounded tiger theory, but it's not wounded tiger, it's wounded tigers. 6 of them out, and it just doesn't matter to you. 12-0, 12-point deficit, sin bin. It's like these shit cunts wait until they get a sin bin and then they fire up. I don't know, like... And again, Roosters get the sin bin. They're finally in the Cowboys...
And that gets to what they do.
Part of the field, and they're like... They put their fingers up. Yep, 2.
We're going to defend it out.
And again, similar to the Knights game, you end up losing the scoreboard during the period that you have a sin bin in your favour. And actually, from that point forward, you can't... After your 2 points, you may as well have turned into Knights because you didn't score for the rest of the game. So... And not just to not score, but to just allow Cowboys to get you for numbers on the edges where you're not like Penrith. You still have Joey Manu, Luke Keary, Sam Walker, Brandon Smith, Jared Hargreaves, Tupanua, Terrell May, which I was told was the next coming of Michael Jordan. Dom Young was there. Like, you had plenty to... There was a reason you're minus 20-point favourites. Like... I'm not giving you guys that we had Spencer Lenue out who plays 10 minutes a week for us. Like, we couldn't fucking figure it out without this guy.
Bro, we needed Collins, bro.
To be up 12...
And Crichton, I mean, the best player ever.
To be up 12, take the 2, lose the sin bin period 8-2, and then concede a try, and Drinkwater literally missed the conversion anyway. So, you weren't even losing at this point, but to get to the point where... Pauga literally jumps offside 5 meters and still drops it. Like, just for like morale, catch it and pretend like you're going to go score an intercept try. You're 5 meters offside and you drop it with 7 minutes to go. And Cowboys are like, all right, we'll take the lead. Give us 2 points. Except when they get 2 points, you cunts didn't score again and you lost outright at $1.10 favoritism when all you cunts have done for the last 5 weeks is front run against the scum of the sport. And shitter cunts in this Cowboys team. Raiders, Dragons, Warriors with no one. You beat all of them by 50 and all of a sudden you're shaking at the side of, I don't even know. Purdue, yeah. So you saw Purdue and you backed down. I can't believe my eyes. If it wasn't like...
They're cocky cunts.
If it wasn't a sequence of like all the retards winning in one round, maybe I would feel like more of a way about Roosters. Like, but it's just like, all right, like another one. Fuck it. Roosters lost as well. All good.
But they're cocky cunts. That's essentially what it is. They're so cocky. They 100% said Tedesco, go, it's all good, we're going to win.
I don't know if I like subscribe to that line of thinking.
Well, okay.
Teddy, like, he showed that he bleeds blue for these cunts. So Teddy was like, fuck. He probably went to Robinson. He's like, fuck. These shit cunts gave me the call. I don't want to let the state down. And that's who, like...
That's how good Teddy is.
That's why we gave him captaincy in the first place, and we just took it right away from him for no reason. That's why we fucking blow up and we're like, why did you drop this cunt? It's not that we're Roosters fans. It's not that we're Edwards haters, even though we are. It's... You looked at him 5 years ago when he was consistently our best performer year after year, series after series. Won us the series on the buzzer in that game 3, I want to say 2019, whatever the fuck. And you gave him captaincy 3 years ago. He's captained our state. He's played well 90% of the time. And now you put him through this bullshit and he's that good of a New South Walesman that he will say, all right, Robbo, sorry, bro. Like, I know we trained the whole week with me at fullback. I know you thought I was playing, but these cunts need me. I'm going to rock up and play game 1 on fucking 2 days' notice. So I don't think they're being, like, cocky. They are cocky in general, sure, but in this, like, instance...
So it's just Teddy being a good bloke?
Yeah, that's what I'll put it down to.
Well, you're a better bloke than I would have been, mate.
Yeah, I know,
there's no way I would have rocked up to that. Fuck that whole selection board. I would have never went.
Agreed, mate. I would say, like, until you cunts get a new selection board and fuck Madge off, I'm not playing for you bums. So, I mean, that's just the nature
of it. Maybe we have too much spite. You got to be blue, apparently. So if they pick Appy Coruscant game 2, he's just going to fucking rock up.
Yeah, he will.
If Tedesco keeps his spot, which would be really funny, he's just going to rock up.
I think it's funny if Tedesco doesn't keep his spot. So then we can, like, really go nuclear.
Well, I hope Tedesco scores... Look, this is the last podcast before Origin. The only reason I would want New South Wales to win is Tedesco has an absolute blinder.
Yeah.
and rakes the shit out of Queensland by himself with these bombs around him, because that would be the only case. So he can go to, in Dallas style, because I'm wearing my Mavericks jersey and championships coming, in Dallas style, so he can go up to Imagine, do this, just like PJ Washington, and be like, you didn't select me, you fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, agreed.
That's it. That's the only thing that can save them.
Any other comments on the Roosters game from you, mate?
I mean, it's Roosters. Honestly, it's so funny to see these bombs lose. But again, look, they give Cowboys hope to make the 8. They give themselves hope to not make the 8. They have a bye next week, which is fortunate for them. And obviously, they get to play Parramatta after this embarrassing loss. So, you know, Parramatta has to show up. And, I mean, Roosters, you guys aren't a shoo-in anymore either. So, literally, Melbourne's at the top of the table now. Didn't play this week. Haven't tried for about 14 matches since the start of the season. And
imagine
they lead the league.
Imagine them sitting like in Melbourne with their feet on the table, seeing Penrith lose, Sharks lose, Roosters lose, and being like, "Fuck, we're first." Like, how good?
Good job, guys.
How good? Yeah, good job.
First, we've got Knights next week. Whoa.
Knights. I'll never forgive you.
Alright, I think that'll wrap up the podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed the content. Back Yourself Premium, we apologize. I mean, what do you want us to fucking do?
Yeah, we're punters. We're not fortune tellers.
But hopefully we can bounce back with the Origin result. As a New South Welshman, a heart of heart, bleed blue, go Queensland. Hope you guys win this game, and 3-0 looks like much more of reality after Wednesday. But let's see how we go.
We'll see how we go, and obviously we'll have the preview for the round, as always, round 14. We'll have that uploaded the morning of Origin, and we'll have the review of Origin probably uploaded the morning after, while it's fresh in everyone's memories. And I mean, whether the result goes Queensland way, New South Wales way, we'll have analysis on it either way. So keen for that. Pleasure as always, mate.
Yeah.
And we'll see you all for the next time.
Peace.
Peace.